Hey girls, so for this week we're going to be doing 3 new skills. Well, 2. Our toe touch will be the same, but we will have we're gonna add in our herky jump, and then we're gonna also add in our right leg kick. So just to review, our toe touch is in our chair. So let me think. So we did P, pride. So is who we are, toe touch, come down. So what counts is 1, 2, 3, up, 4, down, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what we really want our arms to be really straight. We also want our legs to be just as straight as our arms. We want our toes pointed. Our knees are not bent as our elbows aren't bent. So you really want your legs to come up to your legs and not your chest down, so your arms down to your leg. You really want to make sure that everything is aligned, so your left leg and your right leg are up at the same height, as well as your arms. You really want your arms to be down, like straight across, like with your shoulders. So your shoulders are down, your arms are out. You don't want them up when you do your toe touch, and you don't want them down. Also, you want them right at a T, okay? So our other skill that we're gonna be doing is our herky jump. We always do it right, so we're gonna practice our left this time. It's about the same skills that we usually do. So for our left herky, our left leg is straight, toe pointed, and then our right hand on our hip, and our left arm up by your ear. Elbows are really straight, and my small donut hole is showing. So same counts, you're gonna go 1, up, 2, down, 3, 4. Down 3, up, 4, down 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm gonna do it one time, just so you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So really think about your right leg into an attitude, and it's back behind you in the air while your left leg is in front of you, while your leg is straight and up. So for this jump, you want your legs to reach waist level. Sometimes when our toe touches, we want our legs to reach past our waist level. That always helps with making it look pretty. So for the herky, you really want your legs to be waist height, and really think about your arms and the prep. Make sure you're clapping on 1, up, 2 with your big donut hole showing, and it's with your toe touch prep also. So 1, 2, cross 3, make sure right over left, 3, to come up on forward, right? So really think about your right arm is on your hip, and your left arm is up, right? So, I'm sorry about that. So it's actually your right arm is straight and your left leg is straight with your left arm bent and your right leg bent. So sorry about that. So our right arm is straight and our left arm is bent. So I'm gonna do it one more time. It counts so that you can get a visual of it. So 5, 6, 7, 8, clap. 1, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So really think about your right arm being up and your small donut hole showing, your left arm on your hip, okay? So now that we've done that one, I want us to practice our kick that is in the dance. So the kick is on 1, down 2, right? So you're coming off the ground on 3, 4 to clap, 5, 6 to step, 7, 8 to kick, 1, down 2. So with your kick, I want you to have your arms in a high V also. Your big donut holes are still showing on both sides. Your elbows are really straight, shoulders down. And then on your kick, I want your leg to be straight as it can be. Toe is pointed, and it'll come up to your ear, as high as it can go. So you want your supporting leg to be straight too. So I step 7, 8, and I kick 1, 2. Right, so if you saw my left leg was straight still, while my right leg was straight but up in the air, and then I clean on 2. So really think about getting your leg as high as you can. You want it to hit your face, right? You want it to smack your face and snap it back down. So you're stepping up on 3, 4 to clap, 5, 6, step 7, 8, kick 1, down 2. And you see I swing my arms up and I swing them down. Snap up, snap down. So, so since I've went through these, the skills for you all, I really want you to go through those skills about 5 times each. And then if it's in the cheer or if it's in the dance, I want you to go through that section about 4 or 5 times also, making sure that you're just working on those skills that we worked on separately in this video. And then I want you all to run the dance with those skills also in it. I just really want you guys to focus. So since we did these skills, I don't want you to forget about the skills that we did last week or the week before that. Really focus on those skills also, because those skills are also in your dance as well. So if there's a connection with one skill to the next, maybe work from the first skill to the second skill, and then that way you can kind of be able to mold them together as one. Okay, so like I said, 4 or 5 times for each skill, and then do them together with the music or with the cheer as well, okay? Hey girls, so now that we have learned all of our skills, I am going to give us some drills to help with our skills. These drills will be very beneficial to do maybe about 4 or 5 times while you're working on your skills, but I want to show you the skills because it kind of explains what each skill is meant, each drill is meant for, so that way while you're doing the skill, you can remember the drill. The drill is to help you with the skill also. So the first one we have is we're going to basically do our toe touch, but we're going to do the motions of our toe touch, but we're not going to do the toe touch completely. So the focus of this drill is to bring your legs up and then snap them back down as fast as you can, right? So usually I'm gonna use a chair. I'm gonna use a chair, but usually you want something that is level with your arms, because I don't want you to hunch over and snap your legs up and then snap them down, because that's gonna cause your chest to go down. So I want you to find a chair that is about your height, or the back of it is about your height. That way when you're doing this drill, it's still helpful with keeping your chest up and your legs coming out and snapping down. So the motion of that is you're gonna count 1, 2, on 3 you're gonna bend, on 4 your legs are gonna come up, and then your legs need to be down completely by 5 and together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can bring your legs up higher with each time you do it. So I would start off small. You just want to get the gist of the snap, 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 snap. So once you do it a few times with slow counts, I want you to speed it up to go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's gonna really work your hip muscles to come up and then snap down. It's gonna really work on that snap down for when we do our big toe touch and our legs are here, we can snap them down on 1 count, right? So that's the whole point of it. So I'm gonna show. So with just counts, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how my legs snap back on 5. So you really want to work through that. And then when you speed it up, you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the goal is to really snap, 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 snap. So I do want you to find a chair that's level with the back is leveled with like your arms, so that you're really focusing on the snap down, and That way you won't get the bad habit of your chest going forward. So I want you to work through that. A couple times actually a day would really help. You know, it'll work with your hip muscles and your snapping motion after each toe touch. So after you run through the drill a couple times, try the toe touch and then see how that, if it's helping. So you could try the toe touch before and then try the toe touch after to see you know, you see the difference, because it's really gonna help. This drill is really gonna help you snap your legs down. So we want nice pretty toe touches while they're in the air, but the landing is very important as well. So snapping our legs together, our feet being together and our knees being together. We really want to finish the nice jump with a clean landing, okay? So that is a drill that I want you to work on and work through it. Don't work really quickly with it. Kind of take your time and work through it and get the gist of it, okay? Okay, girls, so for the next drill that we have, it's also gonna help with your toe touch as well. So you are gonna sit on the floor. You wanna get close to the wall, but I don't want you to lean on it or be completely against it, because it can kind of be like a little too hard for what we're looking for, right? So you start out in a straddle and your arms are out like they're in a T, like a toe touch, and your toes are really pointed, of course, and your knee is straight. So the goal of this is to be able to isolate your leg and lift it with your leg muscle, so that when you're jumping, you're using the right muscle, which is like your everything in your leg actually. So your hip flexor, your quad, your hamstring. Well, I don't know if you really use this, but you'll definitely use your hamstring, your quad muscles to help with you. So you start, your arms are out in the T. So the goal is to lift your leg. The goal is not to lean back. I know that you saw that I did it, but the goal is to really isolate this from the rest of your body and to just lift. So you may rock back a little bit, but I don't want you to rock all the way back and lift. All the way back and lift, right? So I just want you to rock. I want you to stay as tight as possible. Use your abs, tighten your abs, and just lift. And then I want you also to do this side. So sometimes you may have a weak side, kind of like with turns. So that is the side that I want you to focus on the most, because usually that means in your jump, that leg is lopsided and not at the same height as your highest leg. So I want you to work through that. Like I said, the goal is to help with snapping your legs up. So this drill is for snapping your legs all the way up, and then that last drill is to snap your legs down, right? So really snapping your legs up and controlling it. So I did just flop my leg down, but you want to lift it up and then control down. Lift it up and then control down, and then you want to do the same for this side. Lift up, control down. Lift up, control down. So my leg is kind of bouncing off, but it's bouncing off the muscle from what I'm squeezing from. So it's not like just hitting the ground, you can hear it. It's lifting up and then coming down. Lift it up and then coming down. And then if you saw, my arms kind of shifted up and down. So focus on keeping your arms out into a T at all times, because if you don't focus on your arms will be here, they'll be too low on the actual toe touch. And we want them in exactly a T, shoulder, the height of your shoulders, and then your shoulders down also. So this is actually kind of like your full body, because this is the picture that you want to make in your toe touch when you're doing it full out. So really focus on those things, just really squeezing all your muscles, so your calf muscle, your hamstring, your quad, your knee is straight, so your leg needs to be completely straight, and just break it down. So after you've done, so I would say about 100 on each side. So 100 on the right, 100 on the left, and then do 100 on both. With both legs at the same time. So after you've done right and left separately, you want to do both together. Lift and control, right? So I don't want you to lean all the way back again, like I just hit the wall from leaning back. So for you, the wall is there to make sure that you're not touching it. So you could get really close to it, and then if you feel your stuff hitting the wall every time, then think about pulling this up and really sitting, really pulling your upper body up and tighten it up, so that way when you're lifting, it's not much of a lean, right? So really focus on those things. Again, with the arms, make sure they're in the T at all times. They need to be really, really tight as well. So 100, 100, and then 100 with both. Really focus on this, and then like with the last drill, do a toe touch before and then do a toe touch after with thinking about this drill as well as that first drill with snapping your legs down, right? So those are some things that I really want you guys to think about in that drill. Really keep your arms out, your legs are out, your toes are pointed. You know, you just want to hit this picture every time when you do your actual toe touch. You want to hit this picture at all times. Just your legs are straight, they are level. Some toe touches aren't as high, but as long as both legs are at the same level and your arms are down and they are straight, then it will be a cleaner picture than if you were trying to make your legs be higher and your arms are up here. So we want cleanliness over anything. So really think about those things. Like I said, 100 on both sides, 100 together. Really think about this drill, especially is really gonna help you with it, okay? Okay, so now that we have finished the last drill, we're gonna move on to the next one. This one is also gonna help with your toe touches as well. So even though it may be geared towards kind of more of toe touches, it can work for other jumps as well. The goal of these drills is to be able to get your legs in the air and snap it right back down. So that is really the goal of the first three skills that we were doing, whether it's a herky jump, whether it's a firebird jump, like anything of that sort. That is the goal of these skills, to snap your legs up and snap them back down. So with this next skill is beat open. So with that skill, many of us have done it before, but not all. So I'm just gonna walk through it with each one of us. For each one of us, I'm sorry. So you kind of want to think about this skill as you're standing up. I mean, you'll be laying on your back, but you're standing up and your feet are together. And each time you beat, your legs are together. And when it's open, your legs will snap open and then snap back. So really think about, like, when you're standing up, you're here, you're plie, and then your toe touch, you snap up and then you snap right back down. So that's the goal of this drill, is to kind of get your hips and your legs in the motion of snapping up, open, and then snapping closed. So I'm going to turn around and show you all. So you want to lay back, your arms are flat like a T, and then you bring your legs up. Make sure your knees are really, really straight, and then you have a nice turnout for now. Make sure your toes are pointed as well. So I'm gonna do it slow. So it's beat, open. So your legs will snap open. They'll go as far as they can go, and then you bring them back up. So I'm really using the muscles, my hamstring and my quad muscles, to really bring my legs up. So it's here, and then I'm squeezing them as tight as I can to bring them back close. So I'm gonna kind of do a couple to show you. So beat, open, beat, open. So really think about, the first time I did kind of slow, I brought my legs up slow, but the second one was a little better. I brought them up kind of faster. So I want you to really think about snapping, right? So it won't be as fast as our toe touches usually are because we're laying on our back, but that's the goal, to get this to snap fast and then snap back just as fast. So that's the goal of this drill. So again, so beat, open, beat, open, beat, open, right? And really think about your turnout while you're doing, really think about your turnout when you're doing that as well. I know that when we're doing our toe touch, we're not turned out, but when our legs are up, our toes are pointed, our legs should be like a middle split turned out. So really think about your turnout as well. Make sure your knees are really straight to make sure your legs are really straight. So we really are, the drills are really to find cleanliness and to improve the skills that we are working on right now. So with that, you know, be open. So I want you to possibly, if you have a fast song, pick that fast song and do beat opens all the way through. If not, I want you to count it out. I want you to do about, I would do 4 8 counts of beat open slow, and then do another 4 8 counts counting beat open faster. So this is to help you, you know, if you have a slow toe touch, like the counts are slower, then maybe that way, but if not, pick it up, because most of us will have a faster paced toe touch in our dance. So really think about that. Really think about taking those slow 4 8 counts of beat opens as your way to feel through the drill and then perfect your technique within the drill. And then from there, you'll be able, and when you go faster, you'll be able to keep that technique while doing the drill, which will overall improve your technique. So really work through those, girls. Don't just do it once. Do 4 sets of 4 8 counts slow and then 4 8 counts fast. That's really gonna really help and work through everything, okay? So I'm gonna do the 4 beat opens slow and then a 4 beat opens fast, just so that you have the video. You can go based off of this video that I have, okay? All right, beat open, beat open, beat open, beat open. Pick it up. Beat open, beat open, beat open, beat open.